phase all coming out and say they would refuse to face Russia in those World Cup Qualifiers. Well, FIFA responded with a statement today saying no international competition shall be played on the territory of Russia, with home matches being played on neutral territory and without spectators. The member association representing Russia shall participate in any competition under the name Football Union of Russia and not Russia. No flag or anthem of Russia will be used in matches where teams from the Football Union of Russia participate. After that statement, we heard from the Poland FA saying FIFA's decision today is unacceptable to us. In the situation of war in Ukraine, we are not interested in the game of appearances. Our position remains unchanged. The national team Polish will not play against Russia in the playoff match, regardless of the name of the Russian team. What's FIFA thinking here, Gab? Because you're getting yourself into a situation where no one wants to face Russia, no matter what the name is, no matter where it is, no matter what anthem you played before the match. They are point blank refusing to take on this team. Why do FIFA not just kick them out of the competition?
All right, so a couple of points to make here. First of all, these measures that you see, no anthem, no flag, and changing the name, anybody who's watched the Olympics is familiar with this. In that situation, Russia banned for different reasons. In that case, it was doping, but it's the same thing. So what FIFA have done, FIFA have said, these are preliminary measures. There are more measures to come, but for the time being, we're kind of just going to copy what the IOC did in punishing Russia. Going forward with this, we speak of FIFA as if, you know, it's one guy, Gianni Infantino, in a house with pulling all the powerful levers. That's not quite the case. They had a meeting of what they call the FIFA Bureau, which is the head of the 6 confederations from CONCACAF to South America to UEFA, and they had to decide what to do. There was a feeling that the difficult thing here is there is no UN resolution condemning Ukraine, as we've seen in the past. For example, in 1992, when Yugoslavia was effectively kicked out of the European Championships. So they want to avoid basically making a political decision, or they want rather the politicians like the UN to make that decision first. That's not going to happen because Russia is a member of the Security Council and can veto any resolution. So effectively, they're buying time. And this is my interpretation, but they want these other countries to come out and say, we're not going to play Russia. It's not just those three who they face in the playoffs. It's others. It's Wales. The English FA also coming out with a strong statement. There's others to follow. When there are enough members around the world willing to make this pledge, I think at that point, that's when you're going to see them take more serious action against Russia. The way they look at it is they still have some time. It's 3 weeks and a little bit away, but they want to be careful to not take this action without the politicians, without the UN doing it first. And if it's not going to be the UN, then it has to be the FIFA members coming out and saying, no, this is what we want.
What if they don't get that magic number, Gab? What if not enough federations, not enough members come out and make that statement against Russia? Where does that leave these playoffs?
So, first of all, I think they will. I think they will quite clearly. They will. I think at that point they're going to have to show courage and make a decision. Ultimately, the FIFA president is elected by his members. Today we had the 6 confederation heads who are also elected by their members. And you could look at every one of them, from Victor Montagliani in CONCACAF to Alexander Chefrin at UEFA, and saying, are you representing what your member nations want? Ultimately, these are the FIFA members. There's 211 of them, something like that. And if a majority of them are happy for Russia to go ahead and play, then I think FIFA is going to have a very, very difficult decision on their hands. But again, I don't think that's going to happen. I think if enough countries come out with the sort of statements that Poland and Sweden and the Czechs came out with today, I think they can resolve this even without what would normally happen, which is the UN coming out and announcing a boycott, like we've had in the past with South Africa over apartheid, or indeed with the former Yugoslavia following the violence in the civil war in the Balkans.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.